Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of Chip Advisor, the food-based podcast that has nothing at all to do with TripAdvisor. I am Phil, and I'm here with Mike. How are you, Mike?
Very good, thank you. Yeah, it's just a beautiful play on words. Good to be along. Excited.
It is. It is a beautiful play on words. I must stress we're not reviewing chip shops, or indeed particularly talking about chips, especially
I mean,
tonight.
I'm very happy to review chip shops if that were to become a thing.
Okay, and also here is Harry. How are you, Harry?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good. You've got a very professional setup. We're recording. I can see Harry's room, and it looks like a very fancy. You've got a bookshelf in the background. I think that's all that looks fancy.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm like that chap. Have you ever seen that video of the chap that his children come in halfway through during COVID?
Exactly what I was thinking.
That's
that's
a bit
exactly
like that. And I've got to be honest, my children probably will come in halfway through. But I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine.
It'll be absolutely fine. So I thought what would be good as it's the first episode, maybe just get to know ourselves. We're going to be talking about custard creams today. That is the main focus in today's episode. Custard creams. Don't worry, because
did not get that brief.
No. Well, that's fine because this podcast is very much not planned.
Okay,
so
well that's a relief.
We've got a theme. I'll think of a theme.
And sorry, just to be clear, I mean this is quite the pilot. The theme for this first episode is custard creams.
We thought we'd go big straight away.
Okay, fair enough.
Straight away. It can only go downhill from custard creams, I imagine. Okay. But we'll be delving into a different food type, or maybe even two per episode. But it's very much unscripted, and we'll probably go off on tangents and barely talk about custard creams. We'll see what happens. So, Mike, you're eating at the moment. What are you eating at the moment? Is it your ideal meal?
Oh, I wouldn't say it's my ideal meal. No, it's not a cornetto. It's more of a cornetto, if you will. A sort of right. I mean, to be clear, just before we went live, I did that gag, and it got a genuine belly laugh from Harry.
Yeah,
and this time around, it's got a. Anyway, yes, it's
belly laugh is strong.
It's a shop owned. It's a shop owned version of the Cornetto, toffee flavour. Really am quite a fan.
What's the best flavour Cornetto? Would you say?
Well, strawberry's a strong favourite in my house.
I happen to agree, actually,
because my children don't like the nuts in the chocolate one.
I'd like to come back to Cornettos in a moment, if you wouldn't mind. But there is something about pink foods. I think I do like a pink food, especially only in the sweet scenario. I'm not a big fan of prawns or
radish. Is that pink?
Radish, yeah, I'm not so fond of that. But if I'm going to have an opal fruit, it will be a pink, or will it be a red? Won't it?
Well,
Fruitella's pink. Let's not.
Frutella.
We'll have a whole episode on soft chews because we got to give Chewits a mention legally or something.
If there's a cupcake available, I would always go for the pink one.
Yeah, fondant fancy.
Yeah, pink.
Yeah,
every time.
Well, that's true. What does that say about you, then, Mike?
Well, I don't know. I don't know quite what it says. But I mean, are you the same? I mean, are you a? Is there a colour you tend to?
I mean, everyone goes for a red fruit pastel first, surely.
Absolutely,
I think so.
I mean, my wife goes for orange, which I think is completely mad. But
I wouldn't touch. I wouldn't go to near a citrus as a first choice.
No, maybe that's why we complement each other, because I like the red ones and she likes the not so nice yellow and orange ones. But
do pink fondant fancies taste any different to other colour fondant fancies? Do they actually have flavours?
Yes. The yellow is very much lemon.
Absolutely.
Is it?
Yes. Yeah. And the chocolate is chocolate. But I don't. Well,
Is it?
But which part is the fondant and which part is the fancy? This is the question.
Well, there's a fondant dome, isn't there?
Well, yes, and what flavour is that though?
Oh, I think that where's the flavour come from? Surely the cake itself, not the actual fondant. Surely the fondant's just mass produced and piped on.
Well, here's one of those tangents you're talking about. Yeah, if you just drag it right back to the Cornettos. I spotted and was aware that this was going to be a podcast thing that we were going to be piloting. I spotted the other day Cornetto tips for sale in the supermarket. That is literally just actually what I'm left with now. Just the bottom of a Cornetto. They sell them in the frozen department in Tesco's.
Is there anything frozen in them?
In packs of 5. Well, it actually says our Cornetto tips are made of delicious chocolatey flavoured filling encased in an irresistibly crunchy Cornetto wafer cone.
Are they not just describing a very small Cornetto?
Yeah, it's just the bottom of a Cornetto.
So
the solid chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay. Oh
yeah.
But that's just. I mean, they're just. That's like saying, I don't know. We're doing.
What are they doing with the top bits? Where are all the top bits going?
Well, they don't need to make them. They're saving a fortune, and you're buying all the tips.
I'm not buying any. I didn't buy any.
It's like Polo saying, you know what? We've decided to sell holes.
Actually, if you Google it at the moment,
the bits that would be in holes.
Tesco show a 5-star rating, but show them out of stock.
I can't imagine.
It's a 3.9 rating. I mean, I'm doing this live right now on the pod, but I will get you a quick.
If you want like something cold, if it's a hot summer's day, you don't want the tip of the Cornetto. That isn't going to cool you down.
Granted,
that's going to make you thirsty.
Yeah. Where do you see these reviews?
Scroll down. Just keep scrolling down. They'll be there.
No reviews. I'm sorry about that, guys, but it does show us a 3.9 stars out of 36 reviews.
I mean, who's buying that? Have a word.
I mean, it's more in the Ferrero Rocher aisle, isn't it, rather than the ice cream aisle?
You're quite right.
It's a chocolate. It's a chocolate and wafer combination.
Yeah.
That is a great shout. You could just sell it as a a lunchbox snack. Although it's got ice cream in, so probably not. Don't do
it. Has it got ice cream?
It doesn't have ice cream in.
It doesn't have ice cream.
No, it's just an inside out. It's an inside out Kit Kat.
So why is it in the frozen department?
Well, they're playing with you, aren't they? They're playing on the Cornetto brand.
I mean, we only have Mike's word for it that it is in the ice cream department. To be fair,
this is true.
Just made this up.
No. Mike does like having been with Mike on previous podcasts about football. That a lot of what he says is he says it firmly enough that it sounds like it could be correct.
No, it does. I mean, I don't want to read. I mean, they've really gone to town, the guys at Cornetto, in terms of how they're talking it up. I could be here all night, and I won't be giving you the product description. But they are referred to as Cornetto chocolate tips ice cream 5-pack.
So is there ice cream in it at all?
No, it's frozen chocolate, which actually is how I prefer my chocolate.
That is how, I mean, that is exactly what I do with, any sort of Cadbury's caramel nibbles. I always chuck them in the freezer.
Oh, in the freezer? Oh, I'm a chocolate fridge man, but I don't know about the freezer. I mean,
the freezer's nice. A Twix out of the freezer is very good.
You can't bite a Twix out of a freezer.
Of course you can. Of course you can. I think you can buy any chocolate out of a freezer with the surefire exception of the Toblerone.
As someone, I've done that. I nearly lost a tooth in China of all places. Don't want to ever lose a tooth there.
Sorry, that story is questionable. You were in China and you ate a frozen Toblerone.
Yes.
How?
Why? Well, because we were traveling. Me and my colleague were on the way. Well, we weren't on the way. We travelled to China. We bought 3 Toblerones for a tenner the days before shrinkflation and all the price increases. But we bought 3 Toblerones for a tenner in WH Smith at the airport.
Right.
But it was very hot in China when we got there, so we put them in the freezer section of our fridge freezer mini thing.
In the mini bar.
Yeah, with an ice section. So we stuck it in there, and then because we were jet lagged and tired, and the only food we had was Toblerone, and to be fair, it's the only food that was safe to eat in the area we were. That's an assumption. I don't like fish. That'll come clear over the podcast.
You weren't in a pond, mate. You were in a whole different country to explore.
I know, but it's a regional food, a bit like Italy. China has regional food specialities. Anyway, I didn't want to risk Chinese food because I was very tired. So we just decided we'll have Toblerone for dinner, but we had frozen it and that's where I experienced frozen Toblerone and nearly took my face off. My jaw was clicking for days on end.
Well, the nougat's going to be rock hard, isn't it?
Yeah,
in that scenario,
it was like chewing on a brick. But eventually, you just suck it, and you get a really nice cooling sensation. I would prefer to suck.
There's something. Oh no, please no, don't let me stop you there. Do carry on.
Oh, please let me finish my sentence. I prefer to suck a triangle, a pyramid, if you will, of frozen Toblerone than eat a tip of a Cornetto. Surely that's going to be more beneficial during the summer.
I mean, I didn't know that the tip of a Toblerone existed. I mean, I did know that a tip of a Toblerone existed. No, I don't mean Cornetto. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Cornetto existed until now. So I haven't ever really considered the situation, but I'm gonna say Toblerone.
Yeah. The thing is, they were quite big. It was quite a lot. It was quite a mouthful. So you can't hold a conversation for a good 20 minutes whilst you're melting it in your mouth. That's the only problem.
Well, I mean, we've got on to Toblerone technique, which I think is quite important at this juncture. I mean, do you start at the top or start at the bottom of your Toblerone triangle? Once you've broken it off from the rest of the pack,
at the peak,
which is
I'm very much now. Yeah, peak for me.
Well, presumably that will melt the earliest because it's the smallest surface area.
Precisely.
As you freeze your Toblerone.
Well, I wouldn't
recommend
it. I really wouldn't recommend it because I don't want legal issues with people, charging us for new teeth. Disclaimer: don't eat frozen Toblerone.
And actually, was this a normal, which I'm going to put at about 14 inches, or one of the small ones, or one of the novelty massive ones that you get in places like Harrods?
Right. So I had a novelty massive one.
Right.
For Christmas.
Oh no, you actually did, didn't you? No, he did, and it was. And when he's talking novelty massive, he's not exaggerating. How tall was it, Phil?
And let me tell you, you can't get it in a fridge. It was just very, very big. And it's all
big?
I asked.
I just think for the listeners, context is everything. How big are we talking?
Well, I was going to say
don't do the hands thing. This is an audio podcast.
No,
okay.
No, but you can do it. You can do it by the word because it's actually labelled on the chocolate, isn't it? So are you talking the R of Toblerone, or are you talking the?
No, it's 4.5 kilo bar.
Right.
Lengthwise, it is 78 centimeters. That's not right. It was longer than that. It was a good meter at least.
Oh, you are prone to exaggeration when it comes to.
Was it a yard? It could have been a yard, couldn't it? A yard of Toblerone.
I'll be honest about this, and I don't mind listeners knowing. I'm good on pretty much any length measurement, but yards confuse me a lot. Talk to me in feet, talk to me in inches, centimeters, meters, all of those. But I'm not.
Could you tell us in metric, please, how many centimeters? And by all means, do reach into the meters. This giant Toblerone was.
I believe. Well, looking online, it says it's 0.78 meters, or indeed 78 centimeters, 780 millimeters.
Sorry, what? So yes, 78 centimeters. So I mean, the way you talked about it at the time was as if you couldn't get it through the front door.
It was 4.5 kilos of Toblerone. That's quite a lot.
I mean, he might not have been able to get it through the front door, depending on how he was holding it, because the front doors.
Was the door only ajar?
If he was cradling it in his arms, like some sort of, he was rescuing a small child from a burning building, he probably couldn't have got it through his front door. If he was just holding it like, I don't know, a javelin. I mean, that
over the shoulder, over the shoulder, kilos.
Like some sort of military person on guard outside Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
Or tossing the caber in the Scotland.
Very good.
Yes.
So if I held it vertically, it was quite tall. Anyway,
as tall as one of your children.
Oh, at the time, as tall as my eldest, who was 4.
Right.
So it's 4.5 kilos in weight, 4-year-old in height.
I mean, you keep saying 4.5 kilos. That sounds very heavy.
Yeah, it was.
If it's only 0.8 of a meter long.
Yeah, but long, but also that you've got width measurements, you've got depth
Girth.
measurements.
Yeah.
Girth. Got
It's-
girth.
it-
So
yeah,
anyway,
Toblerone is weighted at the bottom, isn't it? If when you've struck off a piece.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were very hard to separate the pieces, actually.
Oh,
That
I'd
is-
have had to use a knife, bread knife. Did you use a
I
bread
did.
knife? Yes.
You know what? There's a knife bigger than a bread knife.
Right.
It's like what is it, like a butcher's knife? And it was one of those.
Right.
And I had to swing. I had to lay it on the bread chopping board thing.
Yeah.
And swing the butcher's knife at it. And then that inevitably bounced back. So I had to then pierce it top down, vertically down.
Oh.
I'm doing that action.
Savage.
People can't see it.
Like
but
stabbing it. Yeah.
Stab. I had to stab the Toblerone. Anyway, like I was saying, this podcast is about custard creams.
Yes.
But, I don't feel like you can have a chat around Toblerone and not just share the life hack in case anybody isn't aware that you pinch the tip of the peak of each piece inwards towards the bar and it breaks it off. It's one of the wonders of science, really.
Is that a life hack?
It
annoys me when people say, "Oh, I've got a life hack." I mean, they used to be called tips.
Oh, right. Okay.
Cornetto tips, and we've come full circle.
We had this chat.
And I made that point. I just like to point out.
Yes,
about
you did.
The tips and hacks, and how in the good old days of the 90s, it was called household tips, but now we have to call them hacks because we're all on YouTube. So, sorry, that's
we literally are actually.
We are literally on YouTube now.
We're not. We're not. Don't panic.
No, are we not? You promised me we were going to be on YouTube.
Audio only currently. Audio only.
Oh, okay,
currently.
good.
Yeah. So don't worry, because the light coming through your window, Harry.
I know. I
would blind people on YouTube.
Yes. I mean, that's an exciting
the
thing. The sun isn't even out. I don't understand.
Jesus,
but anyway,
Jesus is very much calling you home through that window.
He is.
Yeah.
If you listen carefully. Anyway, custard creams. I mean, we were going to talk about
fondant fancies. I was talking about.
Sorry, I diverted.
Get back to the point. I think it's the icing that holds the flavour.
Do you?
Honestly, yes.
I think you're right.
I think the fondant is all the same. It's an inert. It's a placebo, if you will.
Yeah.
It's just a sort of cream flavour, and it's the icing that holds the flavour. You got your lemon, your chocolate. I don't think got to be honest. I don't think the pink one has much flavour. It's certainly not strawberry. Or raspberry. Mike, you lying down?
I am. I'm just lying down. I might be out of shot, lads, but I know that I'm still here. I just pod better lying down.
Oh, do you? Oh, this is a sneak behind the curtain. Is that the phrase?
Yeah. I pod. Oh gosh, no, I've turned the football up. Sorry, let me turn that off.
Oh, what's happening?
Pod better. It's currently Luton Town 1, Sunderland 0.
Oh, good.
Which to listeners, maybe next season that will really confuse things. But if you're catching up and it's not May 2023, my apologies. Ignore that.
Does that mean that if they get up, that we're going to have to walk through someone's house to get into the away end?
That's a Luton thing. Yes.
I mean, that is a tangent. That really is. Anyway, custard cream.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you to let me know your favourite red food. But
oh, okay.
Rather than delve into your ideal meal, because it feels after 18 minutes of just asking one question about, I can't even remember what food it was. Pink things, something like that. Mike started this.
Sorry.
So, what is your favorite? Well, let's stick with pink. What is your favorite pink food?
Oh
well. I can tell you that my son's favorite pink food is the pink wafer, which seemingly
it's a lot of wafer chat.
Seemingly that you can only buy in Tesco's, because I spent a long time in Morrison's looking for them and they weren't there. I don't know if we're allowed to. I mean, we're not on the BBC, so I presume you can name.
Not yet, Harry. Not yet.
Heart's content, but the Pink Panther wafer is a favourite in our house.
That's the favourite pink thing. That's crazy.
I think I've got two, if I may. One sweet, one savoury, if that's okay.
Savoury?
So if I can go sweet
Savoury
first of all.
pink.
All right.
Yeah, it's coming. Brace yourselves. So the sweet would be the little heart-shaped pink chocolates you get in Pick and Mix with the little white and pink hundreds of thousands on top. Do you know the ones? Oh, they melt in your mouth. They make you thirsty, but they're good.
They're like Jazzies, but pink.
Yeah, pink chocolate I like. I like that a lot.
Right.
Oh, go on.
Yeah. No. I mean, I'm confused like a chocolate mouse.
Yeah, but pink.
But pink, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
and again,
weird.
I think there's a fair bit of placebo going on there, and it's probably just white chocolate. But it
does taste different.
Does it?
Strawberry milkshake flavor, I believe.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, you've fallen for it as much as I have, Phil.
Okay. Yeah.
The savoury is saucy sauce, which is a big favourite of mine. Available from Heinz. It's the perfect mixture, the perfect blend of their ketchup and their mayonnaise. It's called saucy sauce. It's a bit like Thousand Island dressing, really, but I like it a lot. Yeah, and I can have it on pretty much any food.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the sound of that at all.
I mean, I'd say it was a condiment or a sauce rather than a foodstuff, if I'm going to be.
Thank you, Harry.
Perfectly honest.
Oh, okay. Oh, I did. Okay. Well, look, it's good to set out the boundaries. Yeah. Episode 1. As to if I've veered there across the border into condiments, and that is a no. That's fine. I'll stay away from condiment land.
Listen, we'll talk about condiments over episodes in the future. Of course, we will.
Will we? But they're not food stuff. I just heard 30 seconds ago.
No, they are a food stuff, but they're not a food.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I mean, we may cover drinks as well. Who knows? Pink lemonade. But we haven't got time for that.
Give me pink lemonade over normal lemonade any day of the week.
Absolutely, same here.
But why is that?
Because it's pink.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Slightly flavoured with something. Magic pink juice.
Okay. Right. Custard cream.
What that is.
Yes.
What was Harry's favourite? Oh, we did that.
Pink wafer. Wafer.
Thank you for asking. Rhubarb. That's fine. No problem.
Rhubarb, really? Are you?
Oh, love a bit of rhubarb crumble. Oh.
Yeah, but is that pink?
Well, it is, isn't it? You have to when you pick it. Well, Harry is a gardener, so
yes,
Harry's he's the rhubarb expert here. It's pink, isn't it?
Well, I mean, do you want me to be really boring and tell you that answer, or keep it lighthearted? Well, it depends.
I think both our listeners would love to know your views.
Well, if you forced it, it's not going to be very pink. If it's been exposed to the sunshine, then it will be pinker.
Oh, mine is very much exposed.
How'd you force it?
Yeah, what's the force?
Well, you put it in the dark. You put a cloche over it. Traditionally, a terracotta sort of pot.
Do you really?
Yes.
What does that make it grow? Surely that makes it not grow.
Oh well, it grows, but it's not exposed to the light, and the light creates chloroform. I'm going to say
very kind. This feels a bit like hens that aren't free range, but of the rhubarb world.
Yeah, if you go to Yorkshire, and
it's a long way away. We're in the south of the UK.
Visit the rhubarb triangle. They grow it in sheds, and the only light is candle light. Okay, and it basically. I mean, if you want me to link rhubarb back to the custard cream, okay. The rhubarb from the rhubarb triangle is the albino cousin of the rhubarb that is grown outside and red. And as my favourite comedian Harry Hill once said, the custard cream is the albino cousin of the bourbon biscuit.
Wow. I mean, we've learned tonight.
Yes.
I'm amazed.
Basically,
forcing rhubarb.
Yeah, you can force rhubarb in the dark, and it will be tender and sweet and not too pink.
Really?
Yes.
This is exciting. I've learned a new term. Forcing rhubarb.
Sorry, does anybody come to any harm from us forcing it? Because the rhubarb don't mind, presumably. They're not too fussed.
I mean, it really depends on whether you feel that plants have feelings, Mike. I mean,
Oh,
I'm talking to your legs at the moment, which is slightly disconcerting, and
but
and
have you noticed
a certain
have you
amount
noticed
of your midriff, which I don't really want to dwell on.
have you noticed the levels
Yes.
on the pod have just gone up a notch since I went flat foot? You know, when I've gone horizontal, and things really have picked up in terms of the pod.
Mainly, it's
Yeah.
given Harry a chance to show off some of his skills. This is exciting.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it frowned upon in the horticultural world to force rhubarb?
No.
I just think it's a horrible term, force.
What's your favourite force, Mike? Let's make it more cheerful. What's your favourite? What's the best force?
Oh, G-Force, the movie about hamster, guinea pig superheroes.
Oh, right, okay.
Have you made
G-Force.
that up? Is that a real thing?
No, it's a real thing. It's a movie about talking guinea pigs that are superheroes. And it's a bit like Homeward Bound, but with guinea pigs.
Oh, good.
In that they talk. Really, that's really all it's got in common with Homeward Bound.
So the plot's not the same at all. It's just
The plot's not remotely the same. But my point is, it looks like they're talking. They've done a little bit of cheeky CGI, but it's not all CGI. It's not a cartoon. It's the animals, and they've just moved the mouth.
Right.
Okay.
And
do you think have they actually moved
movie.
the animals' mouths, or do you think that's just clever?
Oh no, that because that really would be a different kind of force that I wouldn't be down with.
No.
What is your favourite force?
Probably, police force. I don't know. I can't think of any other forces.
Just generically the police force.
Well, no, actually, because I'm waiting to hear back from them about an incident. They're very not certainly not Dorset Police Force.
Oh dear.
But force, yeah, no. G-force is very interesting as a
the force
concept.
of nature.
Yeah.
Harry, what's your favourite force?
Force field, probably for me.
I mean, we're sort of crossing the streams again, but I think there was a breakfast cereal called Force.
Yes,
I think
there
you're
was.
right.
And I don't remember anything about it. And
Well,
I probably wasn't ever given it because I was raised on Weetabix.
I can tell you that Force was the first commercially successful wheat flake breakfast cereal.
Oh, there you go then.
Prior to that, the only successful wheat-based cereal products had been shredded wheat and the hot semolina cereal cream of wheat. So Force did exist.
Yeah.
In fact, it was axed after 112 years of production back in 2013.
Well, now I'm sad.
Oh.
Let me bring you some happiness and talk about custard creams.
Oh, yes.
Yes, custard creams. Yes.
Good.
So, tell me anything you know about custard creams. I've got some facts in case you can't produce any.
That's a relief. Let me tell you.
So, what do you know about custard creams? When you think of custard creams, what do you think immediately?
Biscuit. I mean, yeah. What do you? I mean, what depth of knowledge are you expecting at this point from me? They're patent. They've got almost a dimple.
Not a dimple. It's a Baroque design, Michael.
Yeah. It's sort of William Morris design.
It is. Do you know what it's based on, Harry? You're a gardener.
Some sort of plant. Then I'm gonna.
What plant? What plant?
The custard plant.
Not a thing, Michael.
I'm going to say clematis.
Eggplant.
It's lovely to. That is clever. It is lovely to hear the word clematis, but it's a fern.
Yeah. Oh, it is a fern.
Yeah.
Can I just say we're not in America, Mike? It's not an eggplant. It's
I know, but it was just because there's eggs in custard and.
Sorry, it was a joke. Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
Good.
The clematis does sound a little bit like a lady's genitalia part. I've always been a fan of that flower for that reason.
Right. Okay. Cool. So yes, it has fronds of fern. Moving on. Family show. This is a family podcast.
Sure.
It's got fronds of fern in a Baroque style. Style.
Sorry, throngs of fern.
Fronds.
Fronds.
Fronds. Fronds.
What's a frond?
I believe it's a word.
The frond is the fern. It's the leaf
there we
of
go.
the fern.
I'm happy with that description. I'm all good with that.
Very good.
Thank you. It traditionally had a buttercream filling, but butter has now been replaced with cheaper fats.
Is it?
Yeah. Which is why they're not maybe when you were younger, they tasted nicer than they do now. But I always think they're a good meal if you forgot your lunch. You just buy a
cheaper
pack
fats we're talking? Lard?
Perhaps. I wouldn't put it past them.
Oh, which brings me on to lardy cake, which is the most horrible thing. It's disgusting. Yeah. Even just the name, lardy cake, horrible.
If it was cool, if it wasn't called lardy cake, if it was called, I don't know,
pretty cake, happy cake, I'd probably be down with it. But if they just dyed it pink, I'd probably really enjoy it.
Clearly, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you've given us a few custard cream facts there.
Oh yeah.
I've got way more than that, but don't worry about it. Did you notice that custard creams have got custard cream written on them for people who don't know what they're going to eat?
Oh dear! Are there? I like that. Are there any other food types that have to have written on them what they are?
There's many biscuits.
Some biscuits are very nice, aren't they?
Oh yes, of course, the nice Nice biscuits. Yes.
Oh, is it Nice?
You say nice, I say Nice.
I say Nice, but I wonder why.
Are they from France?
They originate from Nice, don't they?
Do they?
Oh, I'm pretty confident they do.
I think that could be an assumption.
The Nice Nice biscuit is the sort of coffee morning biscuit of choice, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like it that much. No. I wouldn't ever buy them myself.
No.
They are genuinely named after the city in the south of France, Nice.
Congratulations. I mean, digestives have their name written on them. Rich teas have their name written on them. The bourbon,
yes,
also has its name written on them.
Why isn't it that hobnobs haven't?
Have a think about it, Mike.
Purely because of the terrain, or
yes,
structurally they're not sound. If you were to try and emboss a hobnob, you'd end up in a world of trouble.
Is that the only reason that a biscuit would not have its name on it? Is because they're not embossable? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know. Can you think of an embossable biscuit that hasn't got its name?
Oh, see, now you're asking. What about the chocolate? What about the chocolate finger?
Yeah, well, that's covered in chocolate.
Yeah, you can't emboss chocolate, Mike. It's just
shortbread. Shortbread, surely.
Shortbread, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good. Okay, so there are biscuits without that in a minute. Good.
Oh, you want me to move on and stop thinking of biscuits? Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, you want more facts? I can chuck more facts. In 2009, I mean, I didn't give you a chance to answer if you did want more facts.
Mini cheddars.
Mini cheddar? What? Mini cheddars and what? They're not biscuits.
Of course they are.
Savoury. I mean, they're a savoury.
I mean, it's a savoury biscuit. I mean, call it a cracker if you like, but it's still a biscuit.
But you have a packet of. Are they?
Well, what else are they then? Sorry.
Well, they're not a crisp. They're not. Yeah, dusty.
It's certainly not a crisp.
Like I've touched your nerve here.
Surely they're just a savoury snack.
Savoury snack. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that's vague, isn't it, Mike?
Yes.
Thank you. So,
Jacob, I've gone to the well, and Jacob is telling me himself, him of the mini cracker. Jacob says, all of the Jacobs, they're telling me that mini cheddars are a brand of baked cheddar cheese flavored British style savoury biscuits. So
no way, I've learned something today. Who's your favorite Jacob?
Oh gosh, so many.
I'm gonna have to say my nephew. He's not famous, but yeah.
No,
I know quite a few Jacobs, and I don't like any of them.
No, I've not found that many Jacobs
not
that I like.
Fan of the old Jacobites.
To be honest, Harry's nephew. I mean,
yeah, or Jacob.
Purely because the other Jacob that I know stole a whole load of our Commodore 64 games when I was 4 from our house.
More importantly, the Jacob that I'm thinking of right now stole our European relationship after selling us down the river for a fake dream.
Rees-Mogg?
Rees-Mogg.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I don't want to get political, but I have done briefly there. So yeah, I don't really like any Jacobs. Jake Gyllenhaal, he's the more annoying of the Gyllenhaal brothers.
Is Jacob Gyllenhaal?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that his full name?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm certainly not aware of his work.
I mean,
Jacob Paul, he's a bit of a wally, isn't he? The YouTuber boxer.
So that's Jake Paul.
Well, he is strictly speaking called Jacob.
Oh, okay, all right. I was thinking of Jacob from Josephine's Technical Dreamcoat. Jacob and Son.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Yeah. So anyway, creams. Anyone, if this is the first time you've ever listened to any podcast that we've done, welcome. This is what it's like. So in 2009, custard creams were officially ranked as the biscuit most likely to cause injury and harm.
You know that Jacob actually means someone who seizes, circumvents, and usurps. Rees-Mogg, they absolutely nailed it.
Oh,
absolutely nailed it. Anyway, sorry, custard creams.
That's fine. So in 2016, an Oxford United fan was fined £170 for throwing a whole pack of custard cream biscuits at a Millwall fan. Right.
Okay. Well, like that. That takes the biscuit.
There
you go. I've been holding off. I've been waiting for the right moment.
Oh, I mean, they should have waited a bit longer.
It's no Cornetto, but
they're quite big packets, aren't they?
Well, it depends, because I've noticed because there's a BP garage near work, and if I want a snack, you can get a pack of custard creams, which is Marks and Spencer's in a BP garage. So Marks and Spencer's custard creams for about 45 pence.
Crikey.
But they are a smaller pack. But often in more
in this cost of living crisis, lads. If you think about the sheer acceleration of food stuffs, and I do include condiments in that.
Yeah.
The fact that you can go to Waitrose today and buy a whole packet of their essential custard creams for 30p.
Yeah, it's a good meal.
It wouldn't buy you one finger of a Twix. So, and you've got a whole packet of biscuits.
Exactly that. That's
well.
If go on, Harry.
Oh well, I was just going to say that they are actually technically a sandwich, aren't they? So when you get home and your other half says, "What did you have for lunch?" I had a sandwich.
Just had a sandwich.
Just a sandwich.
It's an excellent point.
Good. I quite often say that when I go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
So I say, "What did you have for lunch?" I had a sandwich. Yes, it was a chicken sandwich, but I'm not going to tell you that here and now. Yeah.
How do you eat your custard cream, Harry?
Oh, now I'm pleased you asked me that, because I was going to mention this earlier. I mean, you've got to take the two halves apart, haven't you? And there's several techniques to that. You either get in there with your thumbs and prise them apart, or you twist them apart. You're looking at me blankly.
No.
Why? Oh no, what's your technique?
Well, I'm wondering. I maybe use my teeth to nibble around the edge and kind of like hook it off with my teeth. The twist often ends up in a crumbly mess.
Sorry, you hook it off with your teeth. I mean,
I wouldn't. Yeah,
you're coming across like some kind of serial killer. I'm not going to lie, Phil. You're nibbling away at the biscuits with your teeth. Why not just pull it apart?
Or because pulling it apart, I've just told you, can often end up in a crumbly mess.
You talked about twisting.
Yeah, but twisting often, I've got very strong hands for someone who's very weak. So I end up crushing instead of twisting.
You just don't know your own strength.
This is the problem.
I think firm but gentle twist or prise apart.
For us mere mortals with just sort of standard hands.
Oh yeah,
I think a pull apart is absolutely ample.
Yeah, and then scrape down with a tooth.
Oh, so then you get your teeth involved.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong, teeth are involved, just not in the first bit. The second bit, once you've exposed the cream made by Flora or whatever it is, rather than pure butter as it is now, some sort of can't believe it's not the custard cream. And scraping with the teeth down. I like to see the two gouge marks as you've scraped the first bit. Then you generally give up and just eat the rest of it. But I'm sure there are people out there that persevere and scrape the whole lot. I get halfway through. I remember I'm 42 and think I'm just going to eat this because I'm actually a grown up rather than some sort of large child.
How many biscuits would you eat in a sitting?
Oh, I had some Morrison's fruit shorties today. You know, the ones with look like they got rat droppings in, the little raisin.
Yeah, I know the ones.
Oh yeah, no, I like those. Yeah,
except Morrison's put one rat dropping in per biscuit now, which is it's like shrinkflation, but they're reducing the quantity of raisins, sultanas, currants.
Well,
I don't know what they are.
Like a cherry bakewell, just in the middle.
Yeah, no, it's just at a random point. They average.
Random.
And
Okay, yeah,
I did check. Some
like
of
a
them
beauty
had,
spot.
Yeah, none of them. Some of them had no raisins in. Or
in a raisin shortcake?
and they're drawing them on like they did in like the 18th century.
Yeah,
and they're actually hiding smallpox scars.
Okay,
I'm not sure if that's their intention. Either way, I had 8, and I didn't feel like I was nourished.
Right, good. 8,
Didn't feel like I was nourished.
But the reason I ask, Phil, is my wife is now like some kind of super health freak. She's brilliant. Like she's across these things. I say all of this stuff because she, may well chance her I may listen to this, but she used to, without really any issue whatsoever, just demolish a whole packet of biscuits, after work before I got home. And I was horrified the first time I heard of this, that you would eat a whole packet that anybody would eat a whole packet of biscuits. I can manage a couple. After that, I'm pretty bored.
Yeah, no, I
but
can't
a whole
do
packet,
a whole pack, not unless it's just a very small pack. An individual pack that you get at a hospital.
No, yeah, not one of those, mate. I'm talking the full whack.
Oh, yeah.
Not a selection box, I grant you, but a whole packet.
I mean, I'd like to think I could, but I probably couldn't now.
Well, anyway, like I say, I do want to very much temper that story with saying how incredibly healthy she is now and just how much I love her.
How would you feel if you saw her open a pack of custard creams and then start chipping away with her teeth around the sides?
Yeah, I don't think it's a good look, is it?
Okay.
It's not foreplay. The old custard cream.
Okay, cool.
Is that? I mean, that's what you do with a Jaffa cake.
Yes, it is.
Which isn't a biscuit for tax reasons. It's actually a cake. But you nibble round the outside of a Jaffa cake until you get to the orange disc. And then you take off then the rest of the sponge mixture and then the chocolate, and you're left with this chocolate disc. And you're left thinking, what the heck did I do this for? Because it's absolutely ridiculous.
And you're a mess.
Yeah, and you're covered in chocolate.
And you have to suck the disc, and then it's just you get to suck the chocolate off the disc, and then it's just gone anyway. It melts.
It's just gone. Yeah, and you're much better off just eating the whole thing, but you still do it.
Yeah, this is true. Going back to the Millwall fan being struck in the head with a packet of custard creams.
Oh yeah,
yeah. What would be the biscuit that you wouldn't mind being hit in the head with? Not a whole pack, just an individual, maybe a frisbee of a biscuit. What would be the best biscuit to get hit with?
Well, I would. I like a jam and cream. So if I'm able to be hit in the head, but then catch it on the rebound and then eat it, I would go for
skill.
Well, I'm not ruling it out. I'd go for
like something someone would learn when they go on You Bet with Matthew Kelly in the 90s. How many jam and creams can this man have thrown at his head and then catch?
Well, yeah. Well, jam and cream. If I was to go on You Bet, I would pick jam and creams, and because they're like the Jammy Dodger, but with they're the hybrid of the Jammy Dodger and the custard cream, aren't they?
But they're quite strong, though, aren't they? They're quite.
The big ones, Mr. Kipling. I mean, you're thinking of?
No, just like Jammy Dodgers, but with a layer in there of cream. They're called jam and creams.
You get them in a Christmas
is that what they're
biscuit
called?
Selection box.
Yeah, you do get them in a Christmas selection box. Yeah.
But there's a fancier one, isn't there, that you get? I think.
Oh, you're a Viennese Whirl.
Viennese. That's the
word.
I
love a Viennese Whirl. Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I've
never even made the
the
connection.
You could absolutely las a Viennese Whirl at my head. You simply will not hurt me. But I don't believe it's a biscuit.
there will be people around the world right now listening to this, just like me, that have not made the connection, and it's dawning on them for the first time that the jam and cream is a poor man's Viennese whirl. Never saw it.
No.
Never seen that coming. And you know what? Even if we don't get a single listener off the back of this, guys, I take that away with me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But then is the Jammy Dodger the sort of the third wheel of this enterprise? Sort of underneath. Because I don't like a Jammy Dodger.
What?
I don't like the texture because the jam is too. I'm going to use the word clarty. It's it's not quite jam, but it's not solid either, and it's just sticky. It's a sticky mess, and I don't want that in my biscuit.
Well, I mean, it's fine. I think if you're not trying to grate your teeth down it, isn't it?
Well, if I'm biting into it and I'm biting into a biscuit and there's a biscuit texture in my teeth, and suddenly you're hit with some sort of, I don't know, some sort of melted jelly tot in the middle that you don't, or what's the other one? Fruit gum.
Oh, fruit gum.
The old filling rippers.
Yeah.
You don't want to be burdened with that, and suddenly you've got this stuck in your teeth, and you then got the awkward bit where you've got to pick your teeth out because you've got this weird.
There's
gum.
something, and there's something. Maybe I shouldn't admit it. There's something I quite enjoy about the second round.
Is there?
I quite enjoy the second round.
Picking the jam out your teeth.
Yeah.
Picking the old jam out of the teeth.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They're quite a fragile biscuit. They often end up, if you give them to your children, they often end up everywhere. The old Jammy Dodger, and you only get 8 in a pack now, which it isn't great. And they keep doing stupid flavors, but this isn't an episode about Jammy Dodgers.
No.
So, in answer to my question, Harry, what biscuit would you like thrown at your head?
Well, I mean, it's got to be a round one, isn't it? Because you don't want anything with corners.
The
thought of a Garibaldi coming at you. I mean,
well, actually, there are a few of them in the Millwall end. Actually,
it's going to take your eye out, isn't it? I mean, it's going to take your eye out. One of those.
Yeah. Fair.
So yeah. But I mean, I've not thought about them for years and years. But I'm going back to the old nice biscuit.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
It's got a smooth, rounded texture. I mean, I'm talking.
Having hit on your face.
Having it being hit in the eye. I mean, it's fine.
Can I counteract your theory of round biscuits being good to be thrown at your head?
Right.
And just briefly mention the very dense ginger nut. That would hurt, wouldn't it?
Surely the aforementioned pink wafer would be pretty harmless.
They'd have to.
I know it's cornered, but
I mean, it's pretty angular. If it hits you in the right spot, I mean, it's gonna cause damage, isn't it?
Okay. Well, I don't feel we should move on from this question until we just back reference the Gary Boldies in the Millwall end. That is Paul's fans by the name of Gary.
Yeah, got it. Yep.
I don't know. I expected a bit more of a rip-roaring laugh with that, but it is the way it goes. That's just I'll take it on the chin and we'll move on. But I just wasn't totally convinced, given the distinct lack of laughter, whether you'd actually got the joke. But that's fine. We go
must
again.
Must have been a connection issue or something. A Belvita, you can throw that at my head because are they a biscuit? They're a biscuit, aren't they? A Belvita.
Yeah.
They've got no structural. You couldn't build a house of Belvitas; it would fall down quickly.
Yeah, I don't trust those biscuits because they claim you can have one for your breakfast and then you don't want anything to eat until lunchtime. Well, I don't. That's just not true, is it? It's just not true.
Yeah, it's not true of any breakfast.
No breakfast. Hunger is kept locked up till lunch.
Yeah, lies.
Yeah,
lies.
But certainly a biscuit. I agree. And also Weetabix in a bottle. No, you can keep that. Thanks. I mean. That you seen those like bottles of Weetabix shakes that's apparently a breakfast. No
what?
Thanks.
It's just like mixed up milk and Weetabix.
It's a fibery. It's a fiber shake.
Oh, it's high fiber.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
There's something listeners will quickly learn about me, that high fiber is not an option. Perilous. Shall we end with a quiz?
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, go on then.
Okay, let's do a quiz.
I
it's a quiz, 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 it's the quiz.
Yeah, Harry was not expecting that, was he?
No.
You could, I mean, I can't. I'm looking at him. I am laid flat on my sofa, but I could picture the slightly unheard look on his face.
It took us all by surprise. So, I've got here 7 items, and I've got them measured in height or length, in the amount of custard creams high or long they are. And I'm talking the flat side of a custard cream. The largest surface area is on the bottom, and then you stack them on top of each other. Yeah, do you understand? So they're not on their end, they're not on their side, they're flat down.
Sure.
Okay, so it'll be nearest to the pin. You got 7. I'll give you all 7 questions, and we'll see who gets the most.
Okay.
Right.
I'm very much laid like that custard cream, so I feel like I've got this.
Okay, let's start with something simple then.
Let's do it.
So, how many custard creams tall? Mike, you can go first. How many custard creams tall is the Leaning Tower of Pisa?
Oh, now,
and this is the educational. This is the educational section of the podcast for those listening. You'll always learn something.
Are we talking to the peak of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, presumably?
Yes, I'm taking the full height of the highest point.
How many custard creams?
How many custard creams high is the Leaning Tower of Pisa?
I would say 1,500.
1,500 custard creams high. Okay, Harry, how many are you saying?
So sorry, it's longest point of the custard cream.
No.
Or stacked.
It's stacked. How many stacked? So the shortest dimension, really.
Yeah.
If it helps, the average.
Don't help.
No.
Okay.
Well,
Okay,
no.
fine.
So I mean, so what did you say? 1,500 custard creams.
I said 1,500 custard creams. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not going to be that, is it? Let's be honest.
Well,
So I'm going to go.
There's a very strong chance it won't be 1,500, but I think it could be around that.
It could be, couldn't it? I'm going to say. I'm going to say. Well, it's going to be about a
dead air is
centimetre. Yeah, I mean, this has got tense all of a sudden because I've just laughed at your answer, but it's going to be more than that, isn't it? It's going to be. I mean, they're about a centimetre, aren't they? Going to roughly, and the Leaning Tower of Pisa is very tall. I mean, it's got to be. Well, I don't know how it's got. I've never seen it.
By those calculations, I'd be at 15 meters.
Yeah, and I think you're wrong there.
Okay.
So how many, Harry?
Yeah,
do need an answer, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say
maybe
2,500.
2,500.
2,500
custard creams tall.
Custard creams tall.
Okay, the correct answer, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, is 4,655 custard creams tall.
Well,
so Harry, you're 1-0 up.
So I see what's happened there is I was going to say 5, and then Mike's gone very low, and I'm thinking, well, actually, does he know because he's probably been there?
Of course, he's
on sort of a romantic weekend.
Been there
and so he's measured it. So I'm going to look a fool having said that this answer was ridiculous in the first place. But then, anyway, sorry, yeah.
As it was, I looked a fool.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you been to the Leaning Tower of Pisa? Lots of people trying to sell you watches outside.
Never been to Pisa?
No, I've never been.
No, I have. Yeah, it made me feel quite nauseous going round it. Anyway, going up it and round, actually, both.
Yeah.
I think that was the issue. So I'll go something smaller now.
Oh, good.
So, how many custard creams tall is your carry-on baggage allowance on Ryanair? And I'm talking small personal bag, not wheelie bag, which you pay.
Okay. Oh, this feels a lot more manageable.
How many custard creams tall is the carry-on small personal bag on Ryanair, currently recording in May 2023?
I like. Oh, yeah. This feels. I feel like I could get this bang on.
Oh, well,
but Harry, I'll let you go first.
There he is.
Be fair.
Frequent flyer points on Ryanair, jetting off, constantly putting his bag in that small thing that you have to put it in. 50.
50 Custard Creams tall. Okay.
Speedy
Borders.
No,
everyone's Speedy Borders.
I'm gonna play this in a very, very unpleasant manner and say 49.
Well, Mike, you get the point. It's 30. I can't say THs, so this is very hard for me. It's 33.33 Custard Creams.
Recurring?
Yep. That's how many Custard Creams you're allowed on Ryanair flights. If you
not
only
much,
take them on height-wise. Yep. Now, I can't give you the actual allowance because it might help you with the rest of the questions. So it's 1-1.
Yes.
Okay, so the next one. So who went first on that one? Harry did. So Mike, you're first. The Great Pyramid in Egypt.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Now, the Great Pyramid has become 9 meters shorter than when it was originally built. Not sure why or how. We haven't got time for that right now. How many Custard Creams tall is that?
I think we have
20,000.
Previously, the tallest building in the world. 20,000 Custard Creams tall. Okay.
Well, I mean, back to Toblerone, aren't we? But
yeah, we are. We've come full circle. Or triangle, pyramid.
Full triangle. Well, I'm
Prism.
going.
Prism is that the shape officially?
What did you say, mate?
I said 20,000.
20,000 is good answer. That. I'm going to say 25,000.
Okay, the Great Pyramid in Egypt is actually only 11,416 Custard Creams tall. So Mike gets the point. That feels like it could be important. Okay, next one.
Just how important? Let's find out.
Just how important. Next one. How high in Custard Creams is the current world record high jump set by Javier Sotomayor in 1993? How many Custard Creams could he jump?
Harry, I'll let you go, mate.
Yeah. So it's got to be. What's the high jump?
Well, they got to jump really high.
Yeah. So my daughter, Matilda, who is 11, she can jump 1.10 meters in the high jump. So I'm going to double that up and say 220.
Does she do the scissor jump or the phosphorus flop?
I mean, she's at that stage in her high jump career where she's between techniques.
Oh, we've all been there.
That's an awkward middle ground, a bit like when you're trying to grow your hair out.
It is a bit, and we've all done that.
I'm currently there.
Oh, are you? Is it growing?
A mess. Well, no, it's just graying.
So she's got a good amount of arch in the back, but she's still doing the scissor action of the legs.
Okay, fair enough.
But that's not answering the question.
No.
So 100, 230.
230 Custard Creams tall. Okay, Michael.
I'm gonna play this with a slightly straighter bat, and I'm gonna say 180.
Oh gosh, got to do some maths a second. This is crazy. Someone has won by 0.84 of a Custard Cream. And that is Mike, because the correct answer is 204.16 Custard Creams is the current high jump record.
Wow, these are fine margins.
Yeah. So it's great effort, both of you, but ultimately Mike gets the point. So 3-1 to Mike.
Just to be clear, we're only halfway through this quiz.
No, we've done 4 now. 4 now off 7. Traditional
cracking.
It's a traditional 7-question quiz.
Okay.
So the industry standard length of an ironing board. How many Custard Creams is that if you were to put it on its end?
It's my turn to go first, isn't it? I'll go 80.
80 Custard Creams. Okay, Harry, you kind of need this.
It's got to be more than 80, surely. You're saying with the metal iron retainer at the end included, or just the board? Just
well,
the board.
it might just be the board, but I would
just the board. Not all ironing boards have a retainer, guys.
Don't they?
Oh, the world you live in. The world you live in. Honestly.
I don't actually put the iron on the retaining bit. I stand it on its end in between.
I haven't used an iron for at least a decade, I'll be honest, guys. So
you seem to be quite strong in your knowledge of them.
Well, back in my day, there weren't lots of iron retainers, but maybe things have moved on.
Ours is more of a flat surface than a retainer, which is why I'm nervous about using it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had the same ironing board since we got married, but it's had several different colours.
Yes, I'm on cover number 2.
Oh, I love it. There are two types of people in the world: people that will replace the ironing board and people that will replace the ironing board cover.
I'm very much a cover man. There's nothing wrong with the structure of the ironing board.
Fair enough.
So, 110 custard creams.
Oh, it's a great guess.
Get back to the question.
It's a great guess. It's 114.3. That's an excellent guess.
Play. Credit where it's due.
So 3-2, Mike, and we move on to the next one, which is slightly harder. Who's going first in this one? And
it's Harry.
Harry is going first.
Good of you to reference Ant, who isn't even on the podcast.
I'm just so used to it.
It's a different
Harry,
podcast.
Different podcast about fantasy football. Not as successful as this one. So the Eiffel Tower.
Oh my goodness!
How many custard creams tall are we saying the Eiffel Tower is? Oh, Harry.
As he's thinking again, as he just because obviously I can't see him.
I mean, his light has gone very dim. He's no longer calling us home. He could just be staring. He could have frozen.
Like the Cornetto tips.
Like the Cornetto tips. Harry, are you there?
Yes, I am. And I say it's only 3 custard creams.
Hooray, I came back.
What happened?
Oh, my internet went off because I'm with BT. But we don't need to talk about that.
Was that before or after you guessed 3 custard creams for the height of the Eiffel Tower? Because I definitely heard 3.
Oh no, I was at an ironing board. What the Eiffel Tower?
The Eiffel Tower and custard creams.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's very tall, isn't it?
It's including the antenna at the top.
Oh, you didn't tell me that to start with. 47.
47. That still doesn't seem many.
1,000.
47,000
custard cream.
I might have.
I think you've overcooked it. I'm going to say you've overcooked that, given that the tallest building in the world was something like 20,000. Let's say 10,000.
I mean, hang on. The pyramids. The Great Pyramid was for 4,000 years the tallest building in the world.
Oh, when there weren't really any other buildings. Correct. Okay, fine. Well,
now people in like Dubai make very tall, thin towers,
like
just
100,
so they could say
100 meters high.
Yeah, I've been in the tallest attraction ride, fairground ride, whatever you would call it, in the world. Been on that, but that's even now the second.
Was that in China as well?
Was that in China?
500 meters up.
Toblerone.
500 meters up. Yeah, it was pretty scary.
That's called a mountain. That's like skiing.
No, it's one of those drop rides, vertical drop rides on top of a huge tower, 500 meters up, and then it takes you further up. So you're over half a kilometer up.
Yeah.
And then it makes you face downwards and just drops you. It's horrendous.
Yeah, you just don't need to do that. You don't need to do that sort of thing.
I only did it because I said I would, because my colleague really wanted to go on it and no one would go on with him. So I said I would.
I only had Toblerone for tea. He needed
exactly. Exactly. But I didn't realize it made you face downwards. And at that point, I was saying bad words to him. Anyway, how tall is the Eiffel Tower in custard creams, Harry?
Do you know what? I mean, sorry, just to get off the subject. I feel sick if I go on a roundabout in a children's playground. So there's no way I'm plummeting 500 meters.
Oh no! I didn't plummet that far. I plummeted about 50 meters, but it was on top of a 500 meter tall building. Anyway,
Harry has said 40,000.
Yes, I did say 40,000.
I have said 10,000.
Okay. 10, what? So you think 10? So the 1,000 is a meter.
Well, we don't know that, Harry. I don't believe that.
No, that's
true.
100, isn't it? Oh, I've got my decimal place in the wrong. Anyway,
okay,
just
so we've got
40,000
and 10,000. So this is your facts, listeners. If you ever get bored at a party, you can tell them that the Eiffel Tower is 27,508.2 custard creams tall. So Harry actually gets the point.
Oh.
3-3. This is an epic
decider.
And the decider. Here we go. Slightly easier subject.
It's incredible how little I care at this point, despite it only being the first episode ever and it being 3-3. You'd think I'd care more, but what was going to be a half-hour pilot has turned into an hour.
Yeah.
It's escalated mainly because of Cornettos. Anyway, how tall was painting legend Bob Ross in Custard Creams?
Oh, right. Well, I mean, including hair?
Including
the afro.
I believe so. I've taken his Wikipedia height.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump straight in. 180.
Do you include? Hang on. Do you include hair in height?
God.
Don't moan.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just wondering. You said that out loud.
Oh yeah, sorry.
If you're measuring height, do you include hair?
No, it's the top of the head. You push the hair down, don't you?
But can you push an afro down?
Yeah.
I suppose it's not.
It's not rigid. It's hair. I mean, it might stick up. It might be voluminous, but it's not actually a solid shape.
Yeah, fair. I didn't think that through before I said it.
No.
Yeah.
Did I mention 180 custard creams?
180, was that your guess? Okay.
Yes.
180 custard creams tall for Bob Ross. And Harry, this is your chance.
I'm going to say 175. I don't think he was as tall as you think he was.
Okay. The correct answer, Bob Ross, is 156.67 custard creams tall. Harry, from 3-1 down, you have won the quiz.
Well, yeah.
4-3. Congratulations.
Can you tell us now how deep a custard cream is? Because we've been working on the proviso that it was a centimetre, but I've actually just plucked that out of thin air.
Well, I've bought 3 different brands of custard cream to try and get an average. The average, including the raised Baroque design, as we discussed earlier, was about 1.2 centimetres.
Okay.
So that was the basis of my calculations.
Yeah, so over an Eiffel Tower's length, that's quite a lot, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Eiffel Tower, pretty
tall.
Yeah. Mike thought that the pyramids of Egypt were the tallest building in the world currently, which is a big surprise.
I've never been. They look quite tall.
It's lovely.
There's not a lot else around there to compare it to. I think that's my problem. I've seen pictures of it. It looks quite big. It's not like it's surrounded by
in comparison to
shopping malls. Well, yeah. There's no shopping malls there to compare it to, is there? Or
is there
a Pizza Hut or something right near the pyramids? Did I read once? A Pizza Hut or a KFC or something?
Bound to be.
I like quite close, like upsettingly close. Yeah, I'm gonna find out.
There'll be a bloody Costa there, there will.
Yeah,
they're everywhere.
Yeah, it's a Pizza Hut. Yeah,
is it?
Yeah,
I do like Pizza Hut.
It's upstairs from KFC. I was right on both accounts.
Oh,
I'm not a big fan of eating food on the beach, so I can't imagine I'd enjoy that as an experience.
No, this is true. If the wind blows, your pizza's ruined.
Yeah, would you like to sit on the terrace? It's a no from me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not near the beach.
But the sand.
Oh, sand. Sorry, I got your sand. Yeah. Okay, right.
well, gents, we've overrun.
If it was near the beach, that would be treacherous, wouldn't it? Can you imagine? What happens when it rains, by the way, with the pyramids? That is something we need to unpack at some point, please.
What happens?
Why doesn't it just, when it rains, why doesn't it just melt?
They're not made of sand. They're not a huge sand castle.
Are they not?
Oh my goodness.
Are they not?
They've not got a guy from Weymouth Beach to go down there and go, oh look, can you make us something nice and tall?
Well, what have they done? Just painted it with sand?
It's stone.
It's stone.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Hold on. Pyramids made of sand.
Well, I mean, technically,
well, you're going to get sandstone.
Sand is stone, right? Sand is just stone that's been crushed.
Don't give him an out here, Harry.
Okay.
How old are you, Mike?
Well,
I'm old enough to know that the pyramids aren't made of sand.
Nearly 35. Hold on.
They were yeah, nearly.
They were built on sand. Actually, no, they weren't. They weren't. Actually, no, they weren't even built on sand.
Because the wise man builds his house upon the rock. Surely, that's how the song went in Sunday school.
Were the pyramids built using sand dunes? No.
Using sand dunes?
This is the sort of idea that you get out of somebody that has never actually built anything. That's what the Google question says. And to be fair, I have never built a building, so yeah.
Well, fair enough.
I didn't think we'd get there on this inaugural podcast.
No, it's escalated somewhat
from the humble custard cream.
No, but there we have it. We've gone from custard creams to, really worrying about the mental health of an actual grown man. So there we go, gents. I
just to be clear, I think my mental health is fine. It's my intelligence that is lacking.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes. Yeah. True. Sorry. Sorry. My apologies for making assumptions.
If anything, I was just blissfully aware of how silly I was.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, well, thank you very much for listening to the first episode. If indeed you have, we'll be back talking about another food type, and very shortly. And there'll be Harry, there'll be Mike, there may even be another guest or two. But thank you for listening. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.